Everybody, my name is Eddie 2009, and today we're going to be continuing Project Nuclear Downfall with more decolonization. The first country who will decolonize is France, which will have rebellions in Algeria. Here are the Algerian rebellions. The Algerian rebellions are supported by the Soviets to get another state in Africa. And the Algerian rebels were successful, and the Soviets would establish a puppet state, the Algerian Commune. Next up, Morocco will get independence peacefully. Sweden will also get the Republic of Kenya independence. The Spanish will give Benin independence. The Americans will liberate Ghana. As the NCR will also get in on the decolonization train and will liberate Gambia, Ivory Coast, Guinea-Bissau, Senegal, and Guinea. Africa's already starting to look a lot comfortable now. Well, the Jews in Palestine will rise up. Yeah. And the United Nations, the Global Liberation Alliance's solution is to establish the Union of Israel and Palestine. Jordan will get independent. Kuwait will get independent. Lebanon and Syria and Iraq will get independence. Moving away from decolonization for now, we are going to see a Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. But this time is not like the 1980s. So the Soviets will make some massive gains in Afghanistan. And yeah. The Afghan Republic loses Kabul. And in the peace negotiation, Afghanistan will become a socialist republic. The Mughals would join India. The Soviet Union would would support communist uprisings in Pakistan. Karachi being the center of these Pakistani rebellions. India would just take over what's left of the Pakistani government as the Pakistani Republic becomes communist. The Pakistanis are now going to invade the Seoul Crisis would happen between the People's Army and Korea, where the South Koreans would think some Chinese people are invading, and they would shoot them. This would be very close to war. With the Global Liberation Alliance supporting Korea, the Warsaw Pact gives in and gives Korea North Korea, and they would establish the Democratic Federal Republic of Korea. Now time for the Philippines to get independence, where the Americans and New Californians will merge their Philippine colonies to create the Philippines. Communist Algeria would now invade Morocco, and they would be successful. And in the peace negotiation, Morocco would become a socialist state. Now the Italians are going to decolonize, giving the Western Sahara, Tunisia, Libya, and Albania independence. The French would now give a lot of their colonies independence, including Mauritania, Mali, Burkina Faso, Togo, and Niger. Anyway, the British will give Nigeria. Yeah, Nigeria is now independent, along with Sudan but South Africa, Botswana, and Zimbabwe. There is no apartheid, so that unfortunately means no Nelson Mandela. The Belgians would give Congo, Rwanda, and Burundi independence, but the Congo will have a civil war between the Democratic and the Communist. The Congolese Civil War has started. With the Communists making really big gains and winning the Civil War. The Algerian Commune will invade Tunisia. Another chocolate piece. Chad, the Central African Republic, and the Congo have gotten independence. Yeah. Cameroon and Tanzania will get independence from the Germans. Angola, Zambia, Malawi, and Mozambique will get independence. Gabon and Malawi are now independent, becoming the last South African nations to get independence. Yeah. The entire Warsaw Pact will invade Kurdistan. Now. With the Iranians pushing into Kurdistan and the Turks pushing into Kurdistan. Now Kurdistan is separated. Who will get independence now? And what will happen next? A revolt in Chad will happen next. And the Chadanian revolt has succeeded, which then causes Niger to have a communist revolt. Yeah. Chad will invade the Central African Republic. And the People's Republic of the Congo will invade the Congo. The Tanzanian Civil War will commence, with communist forces fighting democratic forces. Gabon will also get communisted. The Levantine nations will form a Levant Federation, the Kingdom of the Levant. Iraq will be invaded by the communists. Not looking good for the Global Liberation Army, huh? Well, it's about to get worse, as Mexico will undergo a communist revolution. This revolution will start in the Yucatan and will take Mexico City after a while. A small communist revolution will happen in the New California Republic. Yeah, here it is. But with aid from the Allies, the NCR is able to push the communists back. And they're also able to stabilize themselves, because the NCR is not looking too hot in the political sense. Yeah. Let's just say the NCR is a very corrupt nation in Fallout New Vegas, with corruption running rampant in the nation. Iran has annexed Kuwait. The world is already heating up into a powder keg. Will it be the spark that will ignite the war? Well, the German tank crisis, where American tanks in Hanover and Soviet tanks from Magdeburg will shoot each other, thus resulting in Wasteland War to start. The Soviets will initiate the 7 Days of the Winter Rhine plan by invading the Germans. The Austrians yeah. And thus, the Great Wasteland War has started. Ethiopia will undergo a coup and will invade Somalia and Djibouti. Iranian socialists will attack into the Levantine territory. As Yugoslav and Bulgarian communists will invade Greece. But like Mussolini, it will end in failure, with the Greeks pushing them back. Yeah. You don't just invade Greece without regretting it. The Swedish socialists will launch a rebellion. As the Soviets have reached the Rhine, the Bavarian Soviet Republic will rise up. Yeah. The Austrians become communist. The Yugoslavs will invade Italy, making great early gains. Algeria will attack into Libya. Morocco will attack into West Sahara. Niger will attack into Nigeria. Tanzania will attack into Kenya, and the Congo will attack into Uganda. The Communist Chinese will attack into the national states. The rebellions in Sweden will become successful, and they will invade into Norway. The French will actually fortify the line up until Belgium. They don't want the same mistake to happen. They don't want the Germans to invade Belgium and into France. It happened to World War II. The French don't want it to happen again. The Germans will obviously try the same exact tactic that Nazi Germany used in World War II. Invading through France, but they will realize something is wrong. They have actually fortified the Maginot Line up until the British Channel. Yeah. So they will invade Switzerland, but that won't go well because the Swiss have joined the Global Liberation Army. Soviet paratroopers from Algeria will capture Gibraltar. And they will invade Al-Andalus, establishing a new state called Islamo-Communist Andalusia. This would create another front for the Global Liberation Alliance to worry about. The Warsaw Pact will push the Greeks back, but the Greeks have retreated to the mountains, causing very slow offensives. For now, the French will play defensively. And the Germans will attempt to blitz into the Ardennes forest, but that would go horribly. Now with the defended Maginot Line. So they will try something else. A landing in Dover. But that will be the worst possible thing they could ever do. Obviously, they are going to make quick offensives and even capture London. But this only made the British more determined. The British will push the Germans out of London and would start supporting the French, marking a turning point. They would also land in Norway in an attempt to liberate them. Okay, guys, that's going to end off this video. Please like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. We'll see the turning point of the war, and the Allies will attempt to win. Bye!